Welcome to the Transparent FX Academy. I'm Nick, and I'm a top author on TradingView with over 190k reputation points. In this video, I'll speak about NZDUSD. And as usual, to keep the video as educational as possible, first I'll cover the technical aspect for this market, then we will be moving to the commitment of traders, so the COT data, which is what the big players and institutions are doing and how they're moving and shifting their orders, which is what you see right here. And by the end of the video, by putting together these two different types of analysis, we will try to understand where we have the highest probabilities for the next potential move here for this pair. So this is definitely a video you do not want to miss. So without further ado, let's jump straight onto the charts. Starting here from the monthly time frame, what we can see is that the market at the moment here on NZDUSD is rejecting a quite strong monthly historical structure level. In fact, from here, multiple rejections to the upside have been created. The first one was here. We had a huge uptrend developing away from this zone. Then when the market went and retested the exact same zone, we had yet another massive rejection to the upside. At the moment, the market is testing the exact same zone, is already starting to reject it to the upside. So in a situation like this, more bullish price action could be expected away from this historical monthly demand and support level. So here in the monthly, everything is quite clear. Let's drop down on the weekly time frame and see what we have. Now, from a weekly perspective, we can notice how the market was in a very strong downtrend. The market was creating weekly lower lows and lower highs. Then we had this horizontal level of accumulation. Now the market seems to have completely inverted the trend. Now this is a very popular pattern and inversion of trend. It's basically called when you have a downtrend, then you have an accumulation phase, and then the market inverts to the upside. It's very popular. You basically have a strong downtrend, then horizontal price action in which institutions are accumulating longs, and then you have the inversion of trend. And we will be speaking about the institutional positioning in just a few moments when we move to the commitment of traders analysis. But for now, let's keep all of this in mind and continue with our analysis. So the market at the moment has inverted the trend. We have just created a strong impulse to the upside fueled by this institutional longing, and now we're seeing a correction. If we want to measure the correction, we have to take our Fibonacci from the low to the high of the impulse leg. And what we can see is that we have the 0.32 and 50% retracements, which at the moment here are in perfect confluence with previous resistance turns support from a horizontal structure perspective, because from here, this is the level from which we had the resistance during this horizontal accumulation period. And now the market has broken out to the upside from this range. So this previous resistance is now turned support. If the market will go and retest this level, there is good probability of seeing institutional buying inside of the zone, potentially pushing the price higher. Dropping down on the daily time frame, what do we see? Now, from a daily perspective, this level is even more clear. We can notice how from this zone, we had massive resistance. We had this huge wick from which then all this push to the downside started. Also from here, this previous push to the upside to the downside was created. So all this previous resistance is now turned support here. If the market will now head towards this level, there is then the possibility of seeing institutional buying inside of the zone, potentially propelling the price higher. Now, if we move to the commitment of traders analysis to see what institutions in the market are doing, and we look at the data for the NZD, the first thing that we have to keep in mind is that if we are looking at the data for the NZD, we're actually already looking at NZDUSD, because all currencies on the spot are traded against the USD. And we can see how we went from minus 55.7k all the way up to minus 22.6k net positions. So institutions have been increasing their longs and decreasing their shorts. We went from 7.9k longs up to 10.2k longs. Shorts went from 73.6k shorts all the way up to all the way down actually to 32.8k. So during this horizontal level of accumulation and let's say profit taking of the shorts that institutions had during this push to the downside, institutions have been taking profits on their shorts and opening new longs. Inside of this demand and support zone, actually confluence of demand and support, there is the possibility of seeing more institutional longing. So let's keep all of this in mind and move back to the chart. And by the way, if you still haven't, make sure that you join my free Telegram channel, which you find linked in description, so you never miss new updates. Now back to the analysis. So if the market will continue testing this demand and support zone and institutions will continue to long, what would I expect? Well, as my students know very well, trading is reactive and not predictive. The monthly, weekly, and daily timeframes combined with the COT data, these are the best timeframes when it comes to the directional aspect of the market. However, when it comes to identifying early shifts in the trend of a market, the best timeframes for that are the intraday timeframes, so 4 hour and lower. Therefore, what I would expect is that if this market would shift from an intraday bearish to a bullish market, I wouldn't be surprised to see a potential rejection to the upside away from this level. That definitely wouldn't surprise me. Now, if you want to learn more, I really recommend that you go and check out my website, which is linked in the description, because what you see me share here on YouTube is actually just the tip of the iceberg. In fact, if you head over to the website in the description, you will have the possibility to join the best trading program on the planet. You will gain access to all the courses ranging from the very basics of charting all the way to the more advanced topics like building automated trading strategies using the MQL4 programming language, building portfolios of strategies using quantitative finance tools like the Quant Analyzer, and much more. You will have the possibility, in fact, to gain access to the trading station software with the Telegram notifications integration, one-on-one private mentoring directly with me, the COT data software, which often you see me use directly in my YouTube videos, on all my platforms actually. And if you scroll down, you will see that you also have the possibility to get the integration. So all my EAs, which you find here presented one by one directly on the website. And you also have the possibility to gain access to my live trading show. So I live stream of all the trades on my live account as they're opened, closed, trade, and obviously managed. And if you continue to scroll down, you will see that you have the possibility to join just after here the testimonials and gain automatically access with the email and password that you will create during the checkout process. So I really suggest that at least you go and check it out. The link is in the description and I will see you in it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you click on the like button to support the channel. Also, any questions you might have, let me know in the comments below. Also, new pairs that you would like me to cover in my next videos. Make sure to also subscribe to the channel so you never miss new updates, and I will see you in my next video.